So let's talk about the press conference then. Sorry, these are all a little bit later than normal today. Everything jumping Pete Tong, Hammer Kids, as you know, as I said earlier, and it's all about just adapting. So I'm adapting to these things. This is why you're doing it in the house here. So it was interesting speaking to Svensson. He said that he reckons we can do it really well. He was also very, very, very good at describing everything. He said we've got a long to go. I thought the game and what we can do better, but things like this, we always do this. We win or lose. We don't have to put our head too far down just because it's one game, two set pieces, another goal where we played in. It's the takeaway from those 3 goals, then it's totally a different game. Of course, we need to do a lot of things better. It's more steady performance in our game, but we have a lot of new players, and I think we're going to learn something developing forward. I like that. I like that from Svensson. Svensson? Oh, I can't say his name. Ingeeloson. I like that from Ingeeloson. It's very much saying, this is what we're doing. This is where we're at. This is what we got to do better. And I like that a lot. The more that you have that, the better. It shows a willing to learn. It shows a calmness, which fans have not seen. Fans have not had that calmness. They've been very reactionary. Like, this is what it's like. This is what we need, this and this. He goes on to talk about it's also a historic club. They have been in the Premier League recently, then Sheffield Wednesday, but both are big, big clubs. They have got a good squad and almost promoted last year. Lost a few good players, but we will still be competitive. They still will be competitive. It's a good team. We show them respect. And evening games are special, such games are good for the team, and it's really interesting going forward. And it's interesting listening to what Danny said in his press conference part of it, though, because he's been very much going, we learn from this, we move on from this, we do better, we got to do better. It was basically about adapting and learning about what happened. These things happen, we have to go about how we change this. At the end of the day, it's better to learn from these things, and it's really interesting when you saw him like talk about the corners. We have to do better from set pieces. Set pieces was something that wasn't great, but he also turned around and said, "I'm not going to change the way I play just because of one game. I got my philosophies. I'm going to keep going." He said. He spoke about transfers. He said it's normal in the final week that rumours and questions. Some positions we can look at to do something. And he said there's some positions they can't do in the market either. And they'll see what happens. Like there's a video going out at about 5, which is talking about Pierre Charles' brother, Shay Charles, could be coming in from Southampton. The Brighton striker we were linked with yesterday. But also it's not the only striker we're linked with. There was also a bit about Bambo possibly going on Twitter, and it's always interesting to see what happens. But it's like he spoke about Leeds. They're a big team. It's a derby. It will be special atmosphere on Friday night. Their start is not the best that they wanted, but we need to take it to the full 90, and I believe we will. I believe we can give them a one hell of a game at the weekend. On Friday night, I generally think we can. I think we could do really, really well if we attack properly and in the way we know we can. Now, the thing is, we've got to make sure we defend set pieces. We've got to make sure we're on it. We can make it a proper fortress at home, like big dial. The fortress of Sheffield Wednesday will be something that will be really good to see. He spoke about transfers as well, a bit more in depth. He said, I think we'll have to do something. It's about ins and outs in both directions. There'll be something happening, but how quick and which direction, this is part of the process in the market. There are a lot of things that can happen. There are a lot of question marks and rumours. This is normal in the final week. I think we've done a good job, and now we need to finish this job. I'm convinced that we will have, at the end of the window, a good squad. And it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. And he's always said that this market is very challengeable. And he said, we've been flexible in the summer. We've found some good players, whether that be free agents or signing from our clubs and paying something. Always from our point of view, it's been at our level. And that's what I can say we're interested in. For other clubs now, this is a completely different situation in January. And it's interesting because you could have a look at Shay Charles on loan from Southampton who want their development done. Having his brother here might help that move. It might help it a lot. It was interesting to see that Chalobah was back in training as well, which is good. We want that back. I think that he's the defensive midfielder we need. It's very interesting that some of the players we are looking at and stuff like that. Like, it's interesting. We said he wants a defensive left midfielder, left footer. Now, if you're getting rid of Bambo, that probably means you are bringing in another player. Danny looked very calm, cool, and collected. He looked tired. But I think he's tired because he's trying to make sure everything's right. He's one of those managers who seem to take a lot of it in on the pitch, as the players do. And I like how Danny always speaks. He's always clear. He's always calm. He says it how he wants it to come across. And he thinks before he talks, which is good. And that's something I don't think we're used to at times. Some managers don't think before they talk. They just talk and then let something slip. I'll be interested to see what happens with Wednesday in this last bit of this market. But coming up to Leeds, it's going to be a tough game. They had a poor run of form for them for what they wanted to do into getting going. They will not have wanted a 3-3 and a 0-0 versus West Brom and then getting banked in the cup. But then again, we had a good home appearance, 4-0. We beat Hull 2-1 and then we got banked. The two teams on similar levels in terms of where the form is. No one too there yet. But again, it's two games. It'd be interesting to see where we are with it. And the thing is, what I find funny is that we get talked about transfers and he's very coy in what he says, right? He's very coy when it comes to transfers. He won't let someone beat him to say, hey, what about this? And I think that's the right decision. I think that's the right start. But we just got to turn up. We turn up versus Leeds, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And I thought Danny handled this well. And this is the thing. If we can bounce back from this heavy defeat, we'll be good. And this is the thing. He spoke about it and he said how it's really good that you got to have the character. You got to jump back and do well. And he wasn't recognising the stat kind of thing. But apparently it is, and I think we know that when we lose badly, we do seem to bounce back quite quickly, which is a positive going into what's about to happen in this game. We are going to need a absolute positive Wednesday and be up for it. Leeds will be up for it. Their fans will be up to it. Our fans will be up for it. And I'm intrigued. I thought it was a very good press conference, very cagey on the ins and outs with what might be going on. But apart from that, I think it was good. I think Danny spoke well. Danny looked calm and collected, and he knows what he wants. He's very clearly not going to change his style of play over one game. And yeah, we go from there. So we'll see what happens in the next one.